Let's talk about something really important today. How to protect yourself and the people you love from financial scams that target older adults. We're going to give you the tools you need to spot these criminal schemes and, more importantly, to shut them down cold. So let's start with this number, $3 billion. That's what the FBI estimates seniors lose to fraud every single year. It's a massive number, and it really shows you just how big and how serious this problem is. Now, think about who said this. William Webster, the man who used to run both the FBI and the CIA. He himself was targeted by a scam. His warning right here is so powerful because it tells you something crucial. Anyone can be a target. It doesn't matter how smart you are. These criminals are professionals at deception.
But why? Why is this happening so often to this specific group? To really fight back, we've got to understand the root of the problem. Why scammers have put older adults directly in their crosshairs.
It's a really important question, and the answer tells you a whole lot about how these criminals think and exactly what they're looking for when they pick a target. Well, scammers are methodical. They know that seniors often have a lifetime of savings built up. They also count on the fact that many grew up in a more trusting time and are just generally polite, which can make it hard to hang up on someone. Scammers also prey on any unfamiliarity with online security, and they look for people who might be isolated without a friend or family member nearby to say, hey, wait a minute, that sounds like a scam. And here's the really tough part. Criminals know that many victims feel too ashamed to report the crime, which of course just lets them get away with it and do it to someone else. Okay, so we've covered the why. Now, let's get into the what. We're going to pull back the curtain on the scammer's playbook itself and look at the most common schemes you absolutely need to recognize on sight. Before we get into the specifics, you have to understand the one psychological trick that drives almost every single scam out there. They create a crisis. They manufacture an emergency to make you feel scared and rushed. Why? Because when you're in a panic, you can't think straight, and that's exactly when you're most vulnerable. You see this one all the time, the government impersonation scam. This is where a criminal calls or emails pretending to be from the IRS or Social Security or even the FBI. They use the weight and authority of that name to scare you, usually with threats of arrest or huge penalties. You might get a call that sounds almost exactly like that. Just notice the playbook in action. You've got the impersonation, the scary threat, the manufactured urgency, and this bizarre demand for payment. Let me just be really clear. No government agency will ever call you and demand you pay for anything with gift cards. That's a 100% red flag. All right, let's switch gears to the digital world with a scam that is just exploding online, the tech support scam. It usually starts with a big, scary pop-up that takes over your computer screen, warning you about a virus. The whole point is to get you to call a phone number where a fake technician will try to sell you useless services or, even worse, trick you into giving them remote access to your entire computer. And if you think that's just a small-time thing, get a load of this number. In 2023 alone, people lost more than $1.3 billion just to tech support scams. It's a massive criminal industry built on nothing but lies. Now, this next category of scams, it's just plain cruel, because these schemes are designed to weaponize your emotions. They prey on your love, your compassion, and your natural instinct to help the people you care about. And there are three big ones you'll see here. First is the grandparent scam. That's the frantic call from someone claiming to be your grandchild who's in deep trouble and needs money right now. Then you have the romance scam, where a criminal builds a fake online relationship, sometimes for months, just to set you up for a big ask when they suddenly have a crisis. And finally, charity scams, which pop up after things like natural disasters, exploiting your desire to help by asking for donations to a charity that doesn't even exist. And this isn't theoretical. Here's a real story. An 82-year-old grandmother gets a call. The person on the line says her grandson is in jail and needs $8,000 for bail. So what does she do? What any loving grandma would do. She sent the money right away. Of course, it was all a lie. The money was gone. See how it works? They bypass your logical brain and go straight for your heart. Okay, we've seen how the scams work and just how painful they can be. So now we get to the most important part, the solution. Let's talk about your prevention toolkit. This is how you take the power back and fight these guys. So what is the single most powerful thing you can do? It's this. If a scammer's main weapon is fear and urgency, your best defense is the exact opposite. Slow down. Just stop. Give yourself the space to think, and then take the time to verify everything you're being told.
Let's break it down into 4 simple steps. Step 1, resist. Resist that pressure they put on you to act now. Real organizations will give you time to think. Step 2, spot. Spot those red flag payment methods. Gift cards, wire transfers, crypto. That's for criminals, not the IRS. Step 3, verify. Hang up the phone. If they say they're from your bank, go to your bank's official website, find the real number, and call them yourself. Never use a number the caller gives you. And finally, step 4, protect. Just don't give out your social security, bank account, or credit card numbers to anyone who calls you out of the blue, period.
Let's make this super simple. Think of it like a formula. If they create a crisis and demand you act now, your action is to slow down, hang up, and think. If they ask for payment in gift cards or wire transfers, you recognize it's a scam and you're done. And if they give you a phone number to call them back, you ignore it completely, find the official number on your own, and use that instead. All right, but what if it happens? What if you or someone you care about gets targeted or even loses money? It is so important to know what to do next because taking action is absolutely key. And let me be absolutely crystal clear on this point. There is zero shame in being targeted by these crooks. They are professionals. Reporting a scam isn't an admission that you did something wrong. It's an act of strength. It's how you help law enforcement go after these predators and how you protect other people from becoming the next victim. So here are the key places to go. For anything online, like phishing or those tech support scams, report it to the FBI at ic3.gov. For more general fraud, like those impersonation scams, go to the Federal Trade Commission's website, reportfraud.ftc.gov. And if you just need advice or help with reporting, there's a dedicated National Elder Fraud hotline you can call. So we'll end with this question for you to think about. Who is one person you can share this information with today? It could be a parent, a neighbor, a friend. Because honestly, the best defense we have is knowledge, and protecting our communities starts by looking out for each other.